I start turning on the stream, now we're getting drop frames. Here we go again. Here we go again. OBS has reconnected. Jeez Louise, dude. I thought I got the stream test out yesterday, had a bunch of problems, thought I got it fixed. And obviously we have OBS crashing in the back. But we have the auto reconnect on. And for some reason it looks like we have low internet speed. Let's check something out here. Alright, I don't know what's going on. Let me do a quick, on my side, real quick, check of this speed. One really fast here. So again, like I said, for those of you who don't know, I just moved to a different apartment. It's in a different location. It's really not that far from my old location, about 5-minute bike ride. But it's a different internet coverage and internet speed, I guess. I don't know, my Wi-Fi hotspot liked the other location better. Actually, we've got an upload speed of 52 megabytes per second. That's great, because what I'm streaming at, all I need is a minimum of 20, so I've got 30 plus extra. So that looks good. All right, but I don't know why on OBS I still get a red light sometimes. Whatever. So back on the stream here, today we're going to be going back into the scene that I was working on yesterday, converting Cycles materials to Octane. A member in our community has purchased the 3D Shaker asset, a 3D Shaker scene asset, which was built in Cycles. And let me fire up a photo of it for you guys who want to see it. And I literally, the guy who runs 3D Shaker and owns it, he is in our community, our Blender Octane School community. And we've been chit-chatting, and I'm like, he says he's got some stuff that's for Octane, because he used to use Octane Blender before, but recently, just due to the demand, he's been doing stuff for Cycles, but he really wants to get back into giving us some support on the Octane side. And I volunteered to start converting some of those scenes over, because I want to use them as an experiment to learn. And where's the file at? Oh, it's actually the thumbnail of this video, for those of you who may have stumbled upon that. And I want to use them because I learn how to convert stuff, and I learn what nodes that I need to do for what converting. So here is the scene, beautiful scene, and this is Cycles. This is all done in Cycles. So I'm going to be converting these materials for Octane, and what I want to do is get it really tight and close, so I can also use it for another video, Cycles versus Octane, which people love, which I really don't care less about, because I use cycles and I use Octane, so it's not like I have to use only one. So here we go. I will need this later on. Actually, I probably should just open that file up in my files for reference. So let me go ahead and open up the file that I was working on yesterday. Finally got my system and my room back in somewhat of a working order, and I've got plenty of projects on the list to-do list. I need to get back to posting the Blender 101 Octane guide for free. I have a list of videos that I still need to record and I need to upload. So it looks like the file is open. Yeah, but look at it. Good morning. This is what I'm welcome to. This massive cycles material, which we're going to convert to Octane, which is not, it just looks crazy, but it's actually, in my case, for what I'm doing, I'm literally breaking all of this customability, because right now in cycles, you have the customs. You have the ability to adjust the colors of the trees and things like that, which is great when you get a scene like this. You want to be able to have that flexibility. But for converting, I'm just making it bare bones PBR materials. And then from there, I will drop in some color correct so people will have that option to go ahead and tweak those colors and stuff like that. And one other thing I want to check before I start getting into too deep on the stream here. Once we get a couple of people in here, I would like to know how the sound is on your guys' end. If I can find my chat window. Oh, we are not live. Okay, I know why. Hang on. I forgot this is not a live chat. Are we live? I think we are live. Am I live? If there's anybody there, let me know. Because last night I had this setting on unlisted. No, it is public. Okay, we are live. Cool. So anybody out there, let me know how the sound is. We are live. And Kushwash, yes, sounds good. Two. Yes. Okay, thanks guys. I appreciate that, cuz yeah, I wasn't sure if I was live or not, because I did that yesterday. I forgot that I was unlisted, and I'm like streaming for 10 minutes thinking there's like I'm talking to people and it's like, "Oh, it was unlisted. It wasn't even in the public." So, good. Thanks for the shout outs, guys. Where you guys at? Where are you guys from? What part of the world are you in? And one other thing I want to get I like my chat window a little bit more closer to the microphone. So that's cool that you guys can still hear me fairly well, because the microphone is pretty far away from me, so I'm happy about that. And one other thing that I need to do before I get into this stream is go back to my filters and bring that back down to 60. That should probably bring up the volume also a little bit too. Right? Testy 1, 2, 3. Europe's in the house. India's in the house. Looks like we've got almost the whole, and I'm in Japan, so we've almost got a quarter of the earth covered, right? We just need somebody from the States, and then I think we've got the whole earth covered pretty much. Time check. For me, it is 4:24 Sunday evening-ish on the 12th of. So I know India, you guys are still pretty much on my same time of the day. You guys are a little bit earlier in the day. Europe, we're in Europe. Okay. So first thing first, on this big old complicated note, which looks complicated, it is like a fern plant. Here is the plant that we're converting, and right now it has 3 different materials on it, 1, 2, and 3. This third one here is the flower head of the material, and they had some subsurface on that, which I may revisit and add back on, or we'll see on the final details. France is in the house. I'm quite sure you guys are cleaning up from the Olympics, huh? All right. Okay, that is this part here on the flower. Now we need to do the leaves, and here is the leaves. So when I'm converting materials like this, this is I'm literally building my workflow. So right now, what I'm literally doing is just converting materials. I'm not focusing on details yet. I'm not focusing on coming back. It's 1 p.m. here. Oh, good. In the afternoon, huh? I'm not worried about the details yet or making why does it look crappy. I'm just converting everything. And then I'm going to come back and start tweaking and fine tuning the details, like adding subsurface if it's needed, adding some translucency, or making it look pretty and stuff, right? But for at the moment, I'm just converting materials over from cycles to PBR setup. So like in this case here, we've got this subsurface color right here. This is obviously going into a subsurface. And the autosave is kicking on right there for a moment. So let it do its thing. This scene is starting to get a little bit heavy as I'm bringing in. I said the original scene is like, it was taking 2 minutes just to open the file. So I had to start bringing assets in collection by collection because the file was too big and too heavy. Okay, and then we've got this here, which is a JPEG. So this might be going into the diffuse. Let's move that over. Let's move that over. And these hue saturation nodes, those are going to be color convert nodes for us in Octane. This guy here is just so we can tweak the color. And then that's going into a translucent shader, which we don't need to do all that for Octane. We can just add that straight into our universal texture. Here is the principal BFD. So first thing first, I'm going to cut this out and I'm going to plug this into the node here. This is all I need is the output. This here is an opacity. I'm going to need this at some point to rebuild this shader properly. This is an alpha opacity shader, or it's like an opacity. So what I'm going to do, also I'm going to break this so it saves all of these files in my folder where I'm saving these at. What is the main benefit to using Octanes over cycles? There is no main benefit for anybody wanting to use any other render engine. If it's RenderMan, Arnold, Eevee, it's all preference. It's all up to you and your project. For example, if I was making a project and I didn't need a fully high-res, super photogenic, realistic render, I'm going to use Eevee because Eevee's quick and it's fast and it gets the job done. Cycles is also another option. You know, you want PBR, not PBR, you're looking for photorealism, Cycles also a render. But Octane is also another render that's just like Cycle. It's just another, for me, I like the way it does light. The light looks, the way the highlights look, the way the specular looks, the way subsurface looks, in my opinion, I like it better than Cycles. It has this, man, I don't know, I can't put my finger on it, but it just has this look. For example, let me quickly see if I can bring up something here that I've done that really kind of accentuates what I'm trying to talk about. Oh, let me go back to this. I just did a render on Instagram, and where is it at? 3D Can render. And can be okay here. Like, for me, I just like the way these highlights look, and I purposely pushed these highlights to be like a little bit blown out, and like I like it. I love the way that it looks. The bloom that comes out of Octane, the glare effects that come out of Octane, it's just a preference. It's something that I like the way it looks over Cycles. Now, I'm not saying that every single project I ever do will always be in Cycles or Octane. I would just, like, for some reason, for when I do VFX, at the moment, I'm using Cycles because I know and I have a good workflow with Cycles engine when I'm doing VFX. But I am reteaching myself how to do VFX using Cycles, using Octane, because Octane has a little bit more of a different professional streamlined workflow that I need to learn. And it's a little bit more difficult. Like I said, Cycles is kind of like a little Cessna plane as far as settings and options. And Octane is like a 747 jumbo jet. all of these switches and dials and everything everywhere. Like, you have way more options. And I like all the options. I like to have all those little dials and switches and extra options, right? And I just love the way it looks. There's something about the way Octane does its lights, and it's really heavily based on real world stuff. Like, when you work in Octane, you need to work at real world scale, because that's how the render engine was designed, to be worked at real world scale. I see a lot of people who do projects, and I open them up and they're like, you know, the box is the size of 10 buildings, but it's like supposed to be a product render. You really need to work in real world scale when you're using Octane. You really should do that in Cycles too. Every render engine, you should work in real world scale. All right, so back to this. What I'm gonna do here, now that I got all my, wait, no, we need to get all my, I'm breaking down all of these, and this is saving them into a folder. Once you save your initial folder, it will save a folder, and on that folder, just so you guys can see, in my system folders here, not that, here, there's this folder that I'm in Octane. Here's my original folder and my original Octane project. Sorry guys, excuse me. Here's my original project. Ooh, what is that? Why did that pop on there? Oh, anyways. And here, whenever there's an embedded texture inside, because this original Cycles file has all the PBR materials embedded inside of it. So every time I take one of those and extract it, it's saving it into this folder called textures right here. I didn't make this, it automatically made this. And if I go inside here, here's all of the textures for everything that I'm using. So every time I click on one of these and it has the little double box and you click on it and you say, okay, put it in this folder, it's saving that. So when I go to rebuild these, now I know exactly the file, and okay, here it is, here's the name, Foster JPEG. Or matter of fact, I want to see what this is. I really want to see what this is here. Okay, so this is the name of the flower, which is pretty complicated. Something Carl Foster opacity. So I want to see what that is. And if I come back over here, and let's put this to here so I can read them. Carl opacity. Here it is right here. This is that file. Let me go ahead and flip that. Now I'll go back to my preview window. And here it is. Okay, so I know this is like a cutout. This is like a black and white. This is what I need for. It's like a mask. So okay, good. Now I know when I'm rebuilding this, this is my mask here. And then we've got a grayscale here, which is going to be our roughness. And we got our normals here. And then we got our color information there. So I can clearly see all the PBR materials that I have there. To rebuild that, that's all you really need to rebuild this, right? So what I'm going to do is, this is our bump, our normals. I'm going to plug the normals into the normals, which it is. Good. This thing here, this string here, let me go to full screen. If you press Control Spacebar in Windows and over any window, it makes it full screen, right? Just so you guys know that. Control Spacebar. This right here is the diffuse, or the color information. Hang on one second. Why does it keep doing that? Oh, so you love more problems. Yeah, I don't like more problems. I like options. I like more options. That's what I like, and that's why I like Octane, because Octane literally comes from a professional studio pipeline. Like, they use this thing in many movies and many TV shows well before Cycles was even thought of being used, right? They were using Octane. Okay, so back to this string here. We're going to take this. I don't need any of this stuff. I'm just going to unplug it and plug it straight into the base color, right? We don't need any of that right now. And my roughness, I don't need this color ramp. We're going to plug it straight into here. And the only reason they're using a color ramp is because they were just crunching down the values, which I can do that once we get it. When we do the fine tuning part, we'll do that. So there's our roughness. There's that. And our coloring, subsurface coloring, which, let me see. I think I'm going to do, if I press Control Alt, right mouse button, drag over, it turns blue, release. I want to come out of the color socket and I want to plug this into, I'm going to go subsurface radius, just so I can have it connected into a subsurface, so when I convert it. All right, that's all we need. So this is basically all just junk. This is all garbage that I'm not using right now. All right, we don't even need that. Like, I don't have to disconnect, but I just want you guys to see what I'm doing. I'm just disconnecting all of this extra stuff because the converter just needs basic stuff. It doesn't need any of this. This is what the converter needs to convert. You can leave that clicked into normals. That's okay. I got that clicked into normal. I got my roughness. I've got my specular for subsurface. I've got my, what is this one? In my color. And this top one was, well, that was the one that we plugged into subsurface. There, everything's there. Now we're gonna do, we're gonna convert it. Come over here, scroll down to my material, convert to Octane material. Boom. Only selected material. Yes, this only one. And now, okay, it's converted it. And let's make sure, let's check everything. I've got my RGB image, the diffuse. If I can grab it, there it is. There's the diffuse JPEG. It's set to 2.2 gamma, which we need for color data. And then I got my grayscale image. This is a grayscale image node. That's another thing I like about Octane. To save memory on your GPU, it automatically takes things like, it knows it's a black and white value JPEG. So instead of using a color node, which color takes more data, takes more memory, it automatically makes this a grayscale image node, which only does black and white values, so I can save memory on my GPU. That's one reason why I like Octane too, right? So it automatically does that, right? And that needs to be set to a gamma of 1. Anything that's not color or RGB image or diffuse is a gamma of 2.2. Everything else is data-wise, roughness, normals, displacement, bump maps should be set to 1, and this automatically does it. Now I installed Blender Octane, but there is no option for Octane in the render engine because you haven't set it up properly yet. You can't just download it. You still need to set it up. Have you watched the first video of my Blender Octane 101 guide that shows you how to set that up? I walk you through the whole process. I'll drop you the link right now if you don't know. Right here, Blender Octane 101. Watch this. We go through everything. Setup, color management. I walk you through right here. This is where you're probably going to need sample and kernel setups because that's what you're probably at if you can't see the Octane render engine, right? Boom. Sent you the link. Okay. What's next? Make sure we're checking this. Here's another grayscale image. This is our glossy. It's set to 1. That's good. Here is our normals. That's good. Now, it did not bring over that one that we made for the specular or for the subsurface because that's going to be a different process. So I'm going to come back to that later once I add some subsurface onto this because we'll need to add in a medium node. Thank you. You're welcome. We need to add in a medium. This is how right here I can make subsurface materials right here. Look at, and these are all the options I have for subsurface types: absorption, random walk, scattering, standard value, medium. I have what, 4 different options for subsurface. I like options. All right, let's see what this looks like. Okay, boom. There it is. It's not looking any different than the other ones, but that's okay. We'll get to that later. We'll figure it out. I'll break it down. I just want to convert all of these first. Now there's another one in here. There is the stems. Let's click on that. The stems, oh, way smaller than the other one. And this one is already ready to go. All I need to do, okay, they got a gloss. They're inverting that gloss. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this into there and plug this into there and go ahead and hit convert. All right, boom. Ooh, there we go. Now look at it. That looks nice. And I definitely can see that we're missing something on the flowers because the flowers have no transparency. So I know I need to come back. See, these should be a little bit more wispier. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that right now. Let's go back to the flower head. And what I need to do was, I think there was another one for subsurface. So what I'm going to do is duplicate this. It might be color. So we'll duplicate this, Shift D. And then I'm going to take this grayscale value. I'm going to keep that. And then I'm going to click on, I think I figured this out yesterday. If I hold down Control Shift, right mouse drag. Yeah, Control Shift, right mouse drag. It makes a mixed texture. I want that mixed texture to be there. Okay, good. Now I'm going to come in here, jump in here. And this thing was called, here, we want this subsurface color. I think I want this one. I think, let me see. And we might need opacity. Hang on. Let's see. And then if I take this and go to here, I go to here. No, I don't think so. Let me actually go and plug this straight into the albedo first. Okay, yeah, that's what we need. We need that wispiness. Okay, and this grayscale is plugged into the transmission. This transmission here allows me to make things transparent, basically. Like I don't have to have a separate node. It's built into here. And right now it's on specular, so it's kind of like more like transparent glass and plastics and things. Or I want it to be a little bit more thick, like I would say more like a heavy plastic. So I'll go from specular to diffuse. And this is what we'll use if you really want to make something like a thick plastic. And now if I come back and change this value, now you look at the difference, right? You see the difference? There's our diffuse transmission type. I'm waiting for the autosave to finish doing its thing. Whenever it's doing this, especially in Octane, whenever it's going like that, just wait. Don't do nothing. Because if you start putting in inputs, you'll crash it sometimes. All right. It's same with cycles. I mean, with yeah, same with cycles. Now, if I change the specular, this is what we would use more for glass. Okay. So in this case, I want this to be diffuse. And then what I'm going to do is come back and I'm going to take this. Okay. We're seeing this color. I'm going to plug that into here. Right. And then I want to plug this into here. Or do I? Let me see. And let's play with it just to see if we can get it to work properly. No, it's not looking clear like it should be. Okay, so let's do, what if I just take this out? And what if we just plug this into it? Yeah, it's not looking wispy like it should be. Okay, so next one I'm gonna do, because I think what's happening is I might need to, let me get close here so I can see. Okay, I need a mask. Now I can see the actual texture, and you see that's like that big block. We need to mask that out. Okay, so now we need that opacity. So let's keep this one here. I'm going to actually come down here and grab a black and white, the gray image here, the grayscale image, shift duplicate this. And I'm going to take this one and hang on. Did I not already? Oh, see, we didn't put this one in the file here. See how it has that double? We need to unpack this. Unpack this. Use current file into current directory. Save it into that folder, right? So now I should have that in that folder. Same here. And same here. These guys need to be put into that folder. Okay. Now, if I jump into that folder, camera, where are you at? What's up with the camera? Camera's back. Now, on that grayscale image, if we jump into this, and here's the flower. Okay, we want the flower. We want... Okay, here's all the flower ones right here, guys. We probably need this black and white version, the mask version. So let me come back here to... Ooh, that's right. I forgot about the updated versions of Blender. I think ever since 4.2, if you let it hover over it and it shows you a preview of it, that's so much better. Yeah, we probably need... So we got subsurface color, specular, opacity. I'm going to need opacity. Let's grab that one and open that one. Okay, and we need to cut this out. So what I'm going to do is opacity. I'm actually going to bring this down here, and I'm going to plug it into my opacity. And I'm just going to I'm going to hold Shift and Alt again, right mouse drag, blue, let it go. And I'm just going to look for opacity. Here's opacity, plug it in, boom. Ah, voila. There it is, guys. There it is. Now, let's come back up here and let's try. What I'm trying to do is I don't want to use a subsurface because subsurface is going to crank up our render times, right? So if I can get away with just making it look wispy and see-through, I think we can get away with that. So let's take this, unplug this. Let's use the subsurface color that would go in here, plug it into there, and let's see, are we getting anything out of this? Trying to see if we're able to let me backlight it. Let's backlight it first. Okay, there. Now I want to see if we can get some transparency out of it. And I'm not seeing any. Okay, so let's add some subsurface to it right now. See what the difference is with subsurface. Bring this guy here. I like to keep these nice and tidy. Alpha image. Oh, this is an alpha node. So this one literally, for what I did the grayscale version, I should have used the alpha image. I mean, you could, but this is literally just for PNGs. PNGs with an alpha. So if anything that you have that's literally just cutting something out with an alpha, this alpha image is a special node just for alphas. Again, reducing memory usage, saving memory for your GPU. So I probably could go ahead and just plug that into here. Let me see. 2.2 set to 1. Nope, this only accepts PNGs. That's why. This is a JPEG from them, so this one will not work. We'll have to keep using the grayscale image, right? Because that alpha image only works with PNGs and EXRs. Plug that back into there. There. Okay. Now to do a subsurface on this, we can use the same node, and we just press medium, and I'm just going to do a simple scattering. Plug that over here, and then let's play with it. Which one was it? Was it this one? Yeah, this was the subsurface one. Oh, check it out. Actually, that's what I was going for right there. I like that. Without the subsurface, we don't need, and then I can use this to control it. See? I actually like that. Let's see if we just pump the original diffuse into there. Oh, that's even better. Look at that. We got that, and then we bring it over here. We've got, like, you can see the light coming through it, right? Let's do a little bit of half. Let's go like 55. Boom. Look at that. I love it. I'm leaving it. I'm moving on. I'm not even going to worry about subsurface. I'm not even going to worry about subsurface. Why add extra rendering time if we don't need it? Look at that. That looks great. That's exactly what I was hoping it did. It looks nice and it looks fluffy, right? It actually looks fluffy. Do I have my denoiser on? Yes, denoiser is on. Okay, good. Man, that looks gorgeous, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, we need to fix these other ones now. These other ones need to be done. Let me zoom back in. That's just one of them. Now, unfortunately, we do need to fix the transparency on the leaves also. Again, let me click on this and find out where that sun is. Why am I working in such a small screen? Let's open that up for a second. And I don't want to mess with the orientation of these at the moment because these are connected to a particle system. And you know, in Blender, if you ever do particles and you're instancing something, their rotation matters and how they sit in the actual particle system. So I'm leaving them at this orientation because they're there for a reason, right? That's why I'm not messing with them. But I want to add transparency to these leaves. So if we go to the leaves now, it's going to be pretty much the same thing we just did. We're going to come over here. This is our transparency, right? And then I come over here. I'm just going to use these same two nodes, come here, hold down shift control, drag right click, it turns green. That means it's going to mix them with the texture node. That's what I want to do. And then I can control the amount, or was it, what did I do? I think I did up here. Let's get in here. Let's get in the weeds. Okay, see? You see what I'm doing? That's transparency. That means we can see through it, but it's set to specular. Be careful. It's set to specular, meaning like this is glass. This is a glass leaf. We don't want that. Let's go to diffuse. Boom. There it is, guys. Remember that. Please remember that to change the transmission to diffuse. Now we've got that grass. We've got that grass coming through there. And then I can use this to control how much I want. Here's 0. And let's go in between a little bit. Like 5. I'm just going to leave it for 5 for now, and I can come back and fine tweak this later. And then boom, that's the transparency on our grass. Okay, and the stem, I don't think we're going to do it for the stem. We're just going to leave the stem the way it is. All right, that one's done. Save it. And I know a lot of people are like, dude, I don't want to go through all of this just to convert all my materials. Unfortunately, now, if this is an asset, well, it is an asset for me. Now I have this asset. I'll never have to do that again. It's done and it's set and I have the asset, right? Ready to roll for Octane. And I still have the asset for Cycles too, because the original file I kept separate. I have the Cycles file. I make a copy, save it as Octane. So now I have the Cycles assets and I have the Octane assets. More tools in my toolbox, right? And I don't like... I thought my phone was going off. I don't like the glossiness on these. So again, I will be coming back to and fixing all that. Like, they look too shiny for me. That looks like boo boo. But we'll come back and tweak all that later. All right, that one's done. Now, most of the time, if these materials are being used on multiple things, I will be able to. It will convert on all of them, but unfortunately, nope. See, the grass, it was one material for everything, and it worked. All I had to do was convert once, and it converted everything. But this one, it's like each plant has maybe its own, or maybe 2. Let's click on the second one here and figure out what we need to do. Hang on 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Hang on. Gotta get some water. All right, let's take a look at the stream really quick. Stream is looking good. Got green lights from OBS. OBS likes where we're at. Okay, that's good. Also, what I wanted to do while I'm thinking about it, I wanted to add the picture into this file so I don't have to keep opening up the picture. And image editor. Make this full screen. Remember, control spacebar to make anything full screen. And let's switch this. Let's open up, let's open an image, and I'm going to go ahead and open up that image for this file. Cycles rendered, yeah, Cycles rendered. All right, good. Now that I have that file inside here, and this is from Cycles. But see, to me, like already, I don't like the way Cycles does its highlights. Like, these look like plastic. Like, everything here looks like plastic to me. But that's all right. Once I finish this, we're going to compare the difference between Octane and Cycles on the same render. It's going to be fun. Okay. Spacebar control. Oh, make sure I'm on. Or just go back to previous. All right, that's cool. I don't need that for now. We'll put that there. All right, second one. Here we go. Simple material. Simple, simple, simple on this one. Oh, that might be the reason why also the I don't like the way the glare looks, because he has his invert node each time, so that means he's inverting it. And let me actually undo that really quickly. If I want to see what this looks like in cycles, because I have two files, or I don't have two files, I have two scenes. So one scene is always set up, in my default scene, one scene is always set up for cycles and one is always set up for Octane. So I can switch between the two. So I literally copy this object, come up to my scene, change it to cycles, and then I go paste. Oh, I already pasted it in there, so undo that paste. It's there. If I zoom in here, I'm in cycles now. I'm in cycles. And this is the same asset. This is what it looks like. So I can kind of like use this as my comparison to be like, okay, what are we making here? This is what we're doing. Okay. This is what we're doing. And you see we got the transparency in there. That looks beautiful. Looks good. Okay. Now what I also want to do is I want to see what this is doing here. What is this doing? This is what that looks like. And then come to the next one, inverting it. Wait for it. It's loading. Or it's auto saving. I need to turn the auto save maybe to every 5 minutes. I think it is already set to 5 minutes. But whatever. Okay. So that's what that's doing, this invert node. Because I'm looking through it right now. So I know that's what the color I need to look for. Okay. Interesting. Now, jump back over to Octane. And let's convert it. Roughness into the roughness, bypass this, and that's it. Boom. Go over here. Convert materials. Only selected material. Okay. Scroll up. What are we on? We are on the stems. Okay, so that's what the stems are looking like. And let's come back to the stems. And for me to do an invert like he had that invert node, hang on. I always sit like this. So let me dip my camera down a little bit more. Like that. Now when I set up, okay, that's fine. So he had the invert on here. I can just click on my node and there's an invert node right here. I can just go boop, invert. Right? But I don't see a difference between the two. And that's in the roughness, so I'm just going to leave it straight. Okay? That's that. That's all done. We don't need transparency on the stem. Let's go to next will be the leaves. It's the same setup as it was on the other one. Let me just take a look. Yep. And we already have this material. It's literally the same materials. Right? So what I possibly could do on here is just take that name and let's just go ahead and maybe just select that material as the overall material. Hang on. Material. Leaves 01 is the Octane version. Boom. There it is. Yep, because I knew that he's gonna, whenever you're building assets like that, you don't want to make a whole bunch of individual materials for each individual plant, because you're gonna have all these materials and that's gonna make the file even huger. You make one material for multiple assets and then boom, it's easier that way whenever you pack the file. So literally now I think all we have to do is just change it. Let's come to this next one here. And we can go to flowers and then probably also same here, or I can do it here. Click on that, go to flowers 101. Boom, there it is. And I can come back up here to camouflage, which we already, or camouflage, or stem. And I could probably even select that stems that we already did, right? Stems, 3D shaker stems. Boom, there it is. Okay, but what is this? I do see something's not right here. Looks like there's like a, see how we got multiples going on? What's going on here? What is this other thing here? What is this? Something's missing an alpha or a mask. Okay. This one right here, 3D shaker stem 01. Huh? Did that work? Oh, undo. Something's not right. Hang on a second. Let's back up. Yeah, we're on this one here. And I'm on stem, 3D shaker stem. Here's the original, which I just converted. Right, so it should be okay. We can go to the 3D, that one. Then leaves. This one here, let me copy that one just to make sure that's still the same object. Let's go back over to cycles. Paste object. I did, it's the same object. Is that the same? Yeah, it's the same thing, huh? Okay, something's not right. Yeah, we're missing something here. Let's go to flowers. Flower, we have the opacity plugged in. Yes, we have the opacity plugged in. We're definitely missing an opacity on one of them. Roughness, coding, opacity, maybe it's on this one here. 3D shakers leaves. Make sure the names are the same here. Okay, let's do this. Let's go grayscale. Let's duplicate this one here. And glossy opacity. Let's load this one in here and plug that into opacity. Nope, that didn't work. Okay, so that means there might be something that I'm missing. There might be, I might be missing something. I might be missing something here. I probably should have just converted it like I would normally do, and I think I got ahead myself and like kind of thought it might have been using something different. So it's all right. We just got to figure it out. I'll figure it out. Let's come back in here. Trunk. Opacity. Okay, so we're on the stem. I don't see stem. flower, 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 grass. Wait, glossy, normal. Trunk, trunk, trunk. Hang on for a second, guys. Maybe have to check in edit mode if there's materials will be assigned. Yeah. Version 2, version 3. Version 2, version 3. Look, version 202, version 0. Well, if there were multiples, we would see them right here. Oh, hang on. I think there's multiple plants. There's multiple. This is made of multiple plants. Ah, there we go. Yeah, that was a good idea to go into edit mode. There's multiple plants in here. Okay. There's multiple plants in here. Hang on. I think this is the one that's missing it. There's multiple plants in there. Ah! Well, that's normal anyways. That's why we have autosave. Right? That's why we have autosave. And let's close some unused windows that I don't need in the background. Tutu, that was a good one. Yeah, I think we needed to go into edit mode and just see what's going on, and I didn't even know there's multiples in that. Recover last session. Why does it always do that? Recover last session. That wasn't the last thing I worked on. That was yesterday. That is like, I don't understand that recover last session. What does that mean? My last session was what we were just working on, and it brings up a file that I worked on last night. Okay, so this is made out of multiple bushes here. Let's turn it back on and see which one wasn't rendering. Did that crash the server too? No. Server's there. Okay. Okay, it's this one here. Now let's go to this one. Ah! My dear Watson, we figured it out. My dear Toto. Toto. How do I pronounce it? Sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, bro. T-O-T-O. That was it. So I said, man, multiple minds on a project is way better than one mind. That's why I built my community, guys, because I've learned so much more about Octane and faster because of my community. It's crazy. Now, leaves, 3D shaker. Now we should be able to just do what we were doing before. Just go ahead and switch the material. Like, we already switched the same material. We know it's using the same images. So boom, there it is. Okay, that's working. Let's move on to the next one. Now this is different. Look at the file name. Totally different. Okay, so I can't do that technique on this one. But we probably can do it on the next few because it might be. So again, same scenario here. It looks scary, but it's really not. And again, hue saturation allows us to change the colors of it. The RGB curves is just, I don't know, it's just maybe even pumping, adding maybe contrast or something with that. It's going into a transparent, and then we're mixing that transparency with the color. Like a lot of people think nodes are scary. Once you understand what the you see the repeat pattern, this gives us color control, this gives us contrast. Same thing down here, color control, contrast. You'll start to see the pattern, right? That's the pattern. And I can reduce this, I can remake this pattern in Octane if I want. It's no problem, right? And here's our main thing. Color ramp, again, controlling your values on how shiny, how diffuse you want that. It's really not that scary. But let's go ahead and embed these in so we have these files. And I'm not gonna lie, the first time I did this, actually the first 5 or 6 times I ever did this, it was a headache. I was like, ugh. It was overwhelming. But each time I kept doing it, I kept seeing patterns and I kept saying, oh, okay, okay. And it got easier and easier, and it's getting progressively easier and easier. Even when I first opened up this file, I was like, oh my God. Because there's some other tree assets, you'll see the node setup is like crazy. But once I kind of recognize a few patterns, I'm like, ah, I know what's going on here. So here's our principal BFD. That's all we really need to know. Here it is, right? We don't need this guy. This is our opacity. Now, this is our opacity. This one I should be plugging into the alpha. And this one will probably convert with us now, right? This guy, oh, I keep forgetting. If I press Alt, I can just put that out of there. Hold down Alt and you can just rip that out of there, right? Grab those two. Just hold down Alt, rip that out of there. And subsurface coloring. Okay, we'll just leave that as B. Boom, that's all we need. Control spacebar. Material, convert to Octane material. All right, boom, there it is. Now we need to add in our this autosave. I think I need to turn the time up a little bit. I'm using a add-on, autosave add-on, some type of autosave add-on, which is really good because, oh, what happened there? Okay. Because it literally, like when it does a hard crash, and sometimes like you go back and try to open your file and it doesn't work, this actually saves another file that it actually, I mean, this add-on that I'm using has saved my butt a couple of times. Because that hard crash that we had earlier, sometimes if you go back to the same file, it won't open. It'll say something incorrupted or something corrupted. Where is it at? Enable only. Oh, power save. That's what I'm using, power save. Like, this thing has saved my butt on some projects, guys. Power save interval is 5. Let's make that 10. It's just a little bit too fast for me right now. Okay, good. Now we need to add in our transparency. So, how do we, again, now you see the small lesson that we learned. How do I make something transparent in Octane? Well, we can really, especially when it comes to leaves. Well, it's easy, right? We take, here's our leaf color, and we're just going to mix it with this grayscale node. This grayscale node is controlling our transmission. All right, this is controlling our transmission. I'm going to right click, or if you don't want to do all this quick shorts that I'm doing, what is it? Shift A, search, mix texture. Here's our mix texture node. Drop that in there, not into the amount, drop that into the first texture, and then put this one into the second texture so we can bring the color with it, and then boom, there it is. There's our transparency, but it's set to specular. Specular is what we use for glass. We want it to be diffuse. Ah, there it is. Boom, like that. That's how we add that transparency into it. Right now you can see the light coming through the leaves. Good, done. Next, now if this guy has the same file names, we can probably just cheat and use the just change the material name over, right? And let me, I have that file, so I open it over here on my second screen so I can see, make sure that is the same file name. I think it might be different. Hang on. See extra grass leaf. Oh, it's the same name. Okay, boom. So we know we can come down here. Make sure which one are we on first. We're on. It only has one material. Just grass leaf, no stem. Okay, grass leaf. Come over here. And the shaker, grass leaf. Grass leaf. Oh, no. Grass leaf. Boom. There it is. And this next one. Hang on 1 second. Hang on 1 second. It looks like the preview. Why did the preview slowly change? Okay, I'm whatever. Nitpicking. Same thing. Grass leaf. Grass leaf. Shaker 1. Boom. There it is. All right. Those are all done. Oh, we have one more. Same thing. I don't know why I don't just mute this ground plane for the moment, dude. Like, it just gets in my way so many times. H, hide. Thank you. Both of these. Oh, and now on top here, all of them are now changed. There it is. Let me jump into the camera view. And what? That should not. Is that the? That's not the camera that came with it, right? Camera view. Camera. Oh, it is the camera view that came with it. And go back to ground. Okay, good. Boom. Next. Quick save again. Turn off the render because this thing's a lot faster when the render's off. All right, now what I'm gonna do, add in another one. This is my last one. I gotta get ready to go. Append. And I want to append from the original. This is the original, and I just brought in. This is how heavy the file is. Like, it doesn't even show the collection at the moment. Like, the collection will kick in once it's done. The reason why it's only so heavy is because there's a lot of particles going on. There's like a lot of particle systems. It's got like a 16K HDRI, which is a little bit heavy, and I got a pretty beefy machine, so. What was that last one that it did? Okay, there it is. Last one was tall grass particles. Then we go into collections. Wait for a moment while it kicks in. All right, I'm just going straight down the list like I did ground last time. Hey Patrick, did you add all the megascans in your library and FSC as they were free to use in any DCC software? Also, how to use them for Blender Octane? Yes, I have. Well, I didn't physically download, but I claimed them. Yeah, I claimed everything. And how do I use them in Octane? I use them in Octane the same way I'm doing right now with what I'm doing in here. This is my workflow. Anytime I download anything from Quixel, hang on first. Let me bring this file in right fast. Ground we're on lights next. Lights, just bring that over. Lights, I need to convert because they're probably going to be yeah, these are all Octane lights. I mean cycles lights. Now the way I convert cycles lights, ooh man, we got some we got some IES things connected to this. Now the way to convert lights from cycles to Octane is hang on. Oh, these are not going to work because these are area lights. Hang on for a second. Check it out. These lights, let me grab this light. Let me copy this light. Copy object. I'm going to jump back over to cycles. Jump into cycles. And then I'm going to paste this light. And jump to this light. Where is this light? I don't see it. And I probably don't see it because I have my stuff turned off. Okay, there's that light. Now, this light, if I come over to cycle Octane, I mean, if I'm in Octane right now, if I come over to light, am I clicked on the light? Yeah, area light. No. I don't think I can do it on this one. Nodes. Because normally, sometimes you'll see on some cycles lights, it will say use nodes, and there'll be a button here, and I can convert it to a node. But I'm not seeing that. So it looks like nodes, the lights, I'm gonna have to rebuild the lights, which is not a big thing. Because I can put the I can get the spacing on the lights. I'll skip the lights for now. We'll come back and do that later. Hang on. Let's go back over to the scene. Okay, so the lights are inside of this little box here. That's was because this scene can also be converted at night. Okay, that's the weak. So lights. Area light size. Yeah, I need to I don't want to do lights right now. But I'm just gonna just basically need to just add in a light. Put a null there, move the light to that location, and then just adjust the settings. Well, which is nice is he used the black body emission on here, so I know exactly I can match the 3500 Kelvin black body into my other, and he looks like he's using an IES, so I can download this IES file that's being used. Oh, hang on. I hope that pack, did that pack with it? But I think I know where he got these from anyways, from IES textures probably. Okay, I'll investigate that later. So lights we'll do later. That's just so you can do the scene at night. The scene has an option to turn it on to be like dark. So I'm not really worried about that at the moment. Let's bring in one more. Hang on. Save. Yeah, I'm going to show you my workflow that I would do for what do you ask about? Quixel Bridge. I actually have a file for Quixel. Anytime I bring in a Quixel asset, we'll do it right now. This will be the last thing and I got to go, guys. Okay, let's go over to, let me close this, and let's go to, do this. Let me go to Quixel Bridge. Right, and let's I'm gonna grab on this right here, row construction set. Let me bring in something that I might use later or something so I can actually don't. I like this. Okay, let's do this. So I select what I want. Oh, why am I not signed in? What the heck's going on, dude? This thing isn't like it like I have to sign. Why do I have to do this every single time, dude? This is so annoying. Like it doesn't for some reason keep my sign-in info. Like, and I don't like going over to Fab because like you gotta search through. Like, why doesn't Fab just have all the assets that were in Bridge in one page? Like, I'm really not a fan of that whole their UI over at Fab. Like, why can't they? I know that they took over, so why can't you just keep Bridge and just put your rebrand it, relogo it, and just keep what they already have here? Everybody likes, you know. I just gotta complain a little bit. I gotta complain a little bit about all the thousands of free assets that they give us in free materials. I gotta complain. Really shouldn't complain at all because, dude, like, those assets are premium assets and we're getting them for free, right? I just gotta go through my book of codes and find out where it is and relog into this thing, which I have to do every single time. Hang on one second here, guys, because I've got like two-step verifications. Like, ever since my other YouTube channel got hacked last year or the summer before, like, I use all the extra security precautions that they give me. I take them all. So like every site I have, like, you know, sending it to my phone, the code, and then you got to put the code in. Because, dude, don't take your security internet for granted. Like, my other YouTube channel got hacked and it sucked. And the work to get it back to prove it was mine was a pain. It took like 2 weeks of me talking back and forth with YouTube and Gmail, and it was a pain. So anytime they offer you extra security precautions, take them. Yeah, it sucks because I have to sign in and then wait for the code to my phone, but it's worth it in the end, guys. All right, we're back in it. Here we go. We're gonna download these concrete bold barriers, right? Old concrete barriers. There's the size. Okay. Why does it still say grab it on Fab? I don't want to grab it on Fab. Why can't I just download it here, dude? What's going on? Why is it asking me to buy it? Now I probably have to sign into Fab probably, right? Oh, there it goes. It kicks in. Okay, nice. Download to my library. All right, so I'm going to download FBX. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. I'm just going to download the FBX. Now, why can't I just do this through here? It was so much easier right here, right? Really? I can't download it from there? Download. Let's just do high quality FBX download. Alright, and I downloaded it. I liked it doing it through the Bridge app because it would put them in the folder, special little folder place where I had all this stuff saved. Alright, that totally scared me. I just heard some like plastic thing falling on the floor and I'm like home alone. My daughter's helmet rolled off the thing and fell on the floor, so I was like, somebody's in my house. Alright, back on track. I'm going to export this to my folder of choice. I have a place where I keep all my Quixel stuff in one place. It's a Blender assets, and then I keep all my Quixel stuff in that one folder, so I can easily back that folder up and don't have to be like wondering where did I put this asset, where did I put that asset. And let me put it in there first. Bear with me one moment here. This is my workflow for anytime I download anything from Quixel. Quixel folder, downloads, 3D object. Yes, because I have a folder for the 3D objects, I have a folder for the 3D the surfaces, the materials, you keep it all nice and neat, so you always have it nice and ready to roll. Extract. All right, there it is. And I hate it that it doesn't keep it in the folder that I had it. Make a new folder, call it Old Concrete Barrier. But you only have to do this once, so just do it once and do it right. Grab all these, put them in there. Boom. All right. Don't need this anymore. Close that. I might as well just uninstall the other thing. It's like pointless to have it on the computer now. I can't even use it. Let's go to, then I'm back here. Now I'm gonna go to my dedicated Quixel file, which is a Blender assets, which I saved in my assets. So anytime I use a Quixel thing, matter of fact, let me just go to the new, so I can show you. General, new. Here's my asset library. You still with me? Seeing you still here? Here's my asset library. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you're still with me, so I'm not just talking to myself. I scroll down. Quixel. Here's all my Quixel assets. Objects, decor, rocks, surfaces, walls. Okay. So I need to go to this folder, right? So you could click on anything and right click on it. And this is right here, open Blender file. Boom. It opens up the file. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is import it. What we just did. Import, or a pin. I wish to say no, import FBX. Still here. Toto's here. 2-2. You're still in the house. Well, I don't know. Seeing already jet out? He already left? Well, you're going to see the process. I'm going to keep going. Where was I? Oh, downloading the file. So I go into my Quixel, downloads, 3D, Old Concrete Barrier. There it is. Import. Blender. Import. I'm still here too. All right, brother. I was like, yo, this is for you. Don't tell me you jetted out. All right, good. Import. Boom. There it is. Here it is. It's in the scene, right? Now, we're going to convert it because it's for cycles, right? So if I hit render, whenever it says updating like this in Octane, just wait. Don't try to do input. You'll crash it sometimes. Just let it do it. It's doing stuff in the background. You know, just let it do its thing. Unfortunately, just wait till it let it do its thing. Okay, boom, and there it is, right? And it looks like we're upside down. We are upside down, so the asset's upside down. I'm gonna press Control R. That re-clears the rotation. And I'm gonna go RX90 minus. Boom, there it is. Now what we need to do is see what our material looks like here. Then I click on that. Click on that. And press A. And here's our material. Great. You're like, what happened? Where's all the stuff at? It's broken, right? Like, and people with cycles complain that it still doesn't work kind of right properly, right? So I know it's not gonna work for us. So what I do is just delete that junk. Come in here, make a new material. And what I do is on the other screen here, I go to my textures. I go back to that folder where I put everything in. Quixel, downloads, 3D objects, old concrete board. All right. And I'm going to bring in, they give you more than what you need. So for me, I'm going to just drag in, let me so you can see what I'm working on. Just so you can see. I'm going to just bring in the base color, drag that in there. We're going to bring in the normals. We're going to bring in the roughness. And I'll do AO, just the ambient occlusion, so you can also see how to set that up. And AO. Okay, that's all I'm going to bring in. They give you more than what you need, right? Which is nice. Now, it's important that you notice these when these come in, they all come in not right. Here's my base color. I'm going to plug the base color into the albedo. Now, pay attention here. This base color, the gamma needs to be set 2.2. That's right. You might think, oh, it's done, it's great. No, but it's not right. It's still not right, right? Okay. Keep that at 2.2. Then, what is this next one here? This next one is the roughness. Roughness, the gamma needs to be set to 1. Right? Everything else needs to be set to 1 gamma. The only thing that needs to be 2.2 is your albedo. That's it. Everything else needs to be 1. All right? This is the roughness. I'm going to plug this into the roughness. Yeah, nice. Now we're moving. This is the AO. This is the ambient occlusion. This is how you do the ambient occlusion. We're going to bring this up on top. Ambient occlusion, we're going to multiply. We need a multiply node. Shift, MU, multiply texture. Drop that into there. Put that on the 2. Put that onto the 1. And boom. Now, we got the ambient occlusion with it right there. Okay? That's how you do ambient occlusion. Just multiply with the texture. And this one should be our normals. Yep, this is our normal. Again, normal, set that to 1. Everything else should be set to gamma 1. Plug this into our normal. Normal. All right, and let me see. There's our normal. If you want, you can add the bump in there too. And let me add the displacement. Let me add the displacement in really quickly so we can see. I always add the displacement, but I just don't connect it. Just in case. Does it have a displacement? It does have a displacement. Here's a displacement. Okay. Again, this is all 4K materials, right? Here's our displacement. This also should be set to 1. But hang on. Sometimes they give you an EXR for displacement. And this file, they didn't. It's just JPEG. Okay. Really, you want an EXR for the best displacement. I'm going to go here and add a texture displacement node. Plug that in. I'm going to go, and I want this to be 4K because this is a 4K texture. Right? And then I'm going to plug that in. Boom. Okay, and then I'm going to turn the value up so you can see what's happening. Blah. Right? You want to be easy with these values, okay? I normally go like maybe 0.1, and I don't even really probably do that too much. The mid height, I'm going to go 0.5 there. All right? So now we're actually deforming that, okay? That looking good, right? That looks good. Now, once I do that, this is the most important part. I disconnect this. I just leave that there for optional. Now, check it out. Make sure you're watching this here. I don't want to ever have to do that again. I don't want to ever have to do that again. So what I do, I come over here on my tab. I turn it to outlier. And then I go to display blender file. And now I'm going to go to my object, which I'm here. And then I scroll down to there's my object. Right click, make asset. Okay, now it's an asset. Then I come back over here. This is why I have a special file for this. And that means it's probably time for me to go. That's the wife's like, where are you? Okay, we're going to finish this out, guys. I'm going to be in trouble, but I'm going to stay with you guys till the end. When you're coming here. Okay, I'm on my way. Actually, I'm not on my way, but I will be. Now, we come in here. You go to your asset library. Boom. And then I'm going to come down here to unassigned because it's unassigned. And here it is. And it looks like crap, right? Like, this is why I like also Quixel Bridge stuff. We go into that file again where we saved our Quixel stuff. Downloads, 3D object, old concrete. Sometimes there's an image in here for a preview. And it doesn't have it on this one. But most of the time on the ground textures, there's a preview. So now I'm going to make my own preview. Check it out. This is how I do it. I scroll down. I get like this. And I turn off my background. Turn off my background. Let's go to world. And I just go to plug this. I just plug this in, right? And it makes it brown like that. And then I turn this off, right? And actually, you don't even need to do that. I could just do this. make the background transparent. You don't know how to do that? You go to alpha channel, boom, there it is. Now it's a transparent background. But it looks ugly because we got this edging here, but whatever. So what I do is I take a screenshot of this, which I have programmed on my mouse, boom, and then I drag, make a screenshot of that, boom, there's my screenshot of that. Then I come back over to, let me turn my alpha back on. Okay, bye-bye, I don't need you now, thank you. Turn my alpha back, there we go. Then I come back over to my asset browser and load in that screenshot I just took a picture of. Pictures, for me it's in pictures, screenshots. Scroll down, boom, load that in, boom, there's my screenshot of that. Okay. And actually I don't like that one, so I'm gonna do it again. That one looks ugly. I'm gonna get a little bit closer so I can see. Get a little bit closer like that, and I'm gonna just plug this back into it. I like it this way better. There, and boom, and try to get it more squared. Okay, and just rinse, repeat that process. Let's jump back over here. I'm gonna load that one in. Yeah, that was better. That one's way better. Okay, boom, there's my preview. All right, that's set. Now what I need to do is put this where I want it, and you can come in here, rename it. I don't want it to be named KYFUGW, whatever the heck that is. I want it to be named what it is named, and I'm gonna go ahead and just copy the name from my file over here on the side. Concrete border, old concrete border. Copy that, come over here, paste that, boom, there it is. Now unassign, I'm gonna drag it to where I want it. I'm gonna do it into objects and decor, drag it there. So now I go to objects and decor, boom, there it is. Save this file, boom, it's saved. All right, go to a new file. Here's my new file, here's my asset library. And I have a special, again, I'm gonna go scroll down to my Quixel. Oh, here's my Quixel stuff, boom, there's my Quixel. And where is it? You're like, where is it? Let's see, objects decor, boom, there it is. Drag it into the scene, boom, it's on the side, which I forgot to reset that. We could, I think if you press apply, Control A, you can set it, but whatever. Rotate X minus 90. No, enter. Boom. And there it is. And fire up the render. Boom. There it is. Now that's set in my assets, and I'll never have to do that again. That's how I do it. That's how I would do it. All right, make sure you watch that again if you need to. I'm gonna get in trouble with the wife because I'm already late. I was supposed to be gone like 15 minutes ago, but that happens when I start playing in Blender. That looks dope. All right, guys, I gotta go. Peace. Thanks a ton. You're welcome. I'll catch you guys. Make sure you join the Discord and all that. Let me know if you make some cool scenes with any of your assets. I would love to see what you guys are doing. Links down in the description for this video for the Discord. And if you guys are really hardcore and serious, I got the Blender Octane Community School, 7 days free trial. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Keep rendering. See ya. Oh boy, I'm in trouble.